So, in a footnote, the Biyam Darkecha continues to emphasize a very important point. He says it's something that we need to repeat over and over again. Sha'atzmuso yisbarach ein lo shum toar v'shum kinui. That the essence of Hashem has no description and no name. V'les machshava tvisa be klal. And the human intellect lacks the ability to grasp him. And therefore, it is both forbidden and impossible to contemplate it or to discuss it. Rather, we have to understand with the proper level of awe that his existence must be. And then to make every effort to attach ourselves to him with our hearts. We don't have the ability to contemplate him in terms of his essence, but rather we only connect to him be'emtsos midosav, through the traits that he demonstrates, through the manners in which Hashem reveals himself to us, and through his conduct. In those things, we have the ability to grasp, because those are revelations that he reveals in order to relate to us. And they are revelations that are appropriate to our ability to grasp. Kivan shehuzev shemisgala behem, azai betfisasenu behem anu tovsim bo ba'atzmo. And since those are the ways in which he has chosen to reveal himself, so therefore when we grasp his revelations, we are grasping him. Ki heim einam davar la'atzmam chas v'shalom, because his revelations are not something independent of him. Elohim hisgalus shalo, but they're his revelations. Shuhu mislabesh umisgala kach v'kach, that he, so to speak, dresses himself up in those revelations. Umemela bazenu tofsim bo ba'atzmo, so that's how we get a grasp of Hashem himself. Avalo mitzad atzmo umuhuso ela mitzad hahiskalios shalo. But our grasp is not because we grasp his essence and his nature, but rather is the grasp of his revelations. Then he says to take it one step further. He says that's why we begin to speak about the Or Ha'Ein Sof, about the infinite light. By the way, I saw the other day something interesting, and that is that the words Or and Ein Sof, Or itself has a gematria. It has a numerical value of 207. And Ein Sof, the infinite, also has a gematria, numerical value of 207. I'm sorry. 207 they both have. That's correct. She'omek inyano hu hisgalus harotzon livro es ha'olamos. That this is the revelation of God's will to create the worlds. But the Arizal never speaks above God's, so to speak, thoughts to create, because that's something that the Gemara tells us in Meseches Chagiga, Osur lihistakel malamala, malamata, malefanim, umala that we are prohibited, and again, the prohibition is because this is something that if we go down this path, we're not going to be able to arrive at any understanding. Therefore, it is prohibited for us to contemplate about what is above existence, what's below, what precedes, and what follows. because these are all attempts at understanding the essence of God, because creation is God's revelation. So an attempt to contemplate anything before, after, above, below is all moving outside of creation. We want to go beyond his revelations and get to God himself. And that is something that as creations we lack the ability to grasp. As we said before, on the quote from the Zohar, Les machshava tfisa be klal, the human intellect cannot grasp him whatsoever. Because if we try to go down that path, we won't understand, and we are likely to come up with erroneous conclusions. We are only permitted to toil in understanding God's revelations. And trust me, Agnay, from personal experience, just understanding how God has chosen to reveal himself to us is a lifetime of work as it is. And then he points out in a parenthetical statement, keep in mind that when we're told in Kabbalistic works that trying to understand certain things is prohibited, it's telling you not just that it is prohibited, but the prohibition is because of the fact that we will not be able to understand. Let's take a moment to start the next piece. He explains that this light, the infinite light, is not really a revelation just yet. Because initially it was a simple light that had no boundaries at all. And we discussed a few classes ago what the word simple means. It means it's not a compound object. And therefore, there was not yet a revelation. Because in order to be a revelation, there has to be something to receive that revelation. And the entire concept of light, the entire concept of revelation, that only indicates that something is being shown to something else. Something's being revealed to an other, and therefore there has to be a creation in order to facilitate that, for there to be creations to whom the light is being revealed. Then this light will be a revelation of the emanator. We'll continue in Mitzvah Hashem next week. Thanks for watching.